TWM Podcast.
Hello. I'm Matty Deller, and this is the Best of the Rest podcast, your Friday roundup of the odds and ends in your wrestling week, and it is a special podcast this week, as we are going to talk about Super Showdown, a show where nothing happened and nothing of note has made the internet boil over with rage whatsoever. Also, Miz and Mrs. Before we have a little chat about what we are going to talk about, and I introduce my co-host, I'm going to go through the admin TWM podcasts, bringing you content 6 days a week, interviews, reviews, and news in all of your ears via the podcast platforms of your choice. That could be Apple and Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Acast, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever else you get your pods. Spotify as well, if I didn't say that. I think I've said that in a while. I need to make sure I mention we are on Spotify. If you are on YouTube, please leave us a subscribe. We are trying to get to 100 followers so we can get that beautiful, sexy custom URL, and we haven't got to say just search TWM podcast. We can give you a proper URL. And also smash the like button like the kids on YouTube say, and turn on notifications and all that good stuff so you don't miss a podcast or any special video content that we have out. You can see Jess's excellent guide to British wrestling available now on our YouTube channel. We love sport. They help pay the bills, and we like to tell you they are a fantastic app because they are showing you the nearest sports bar, showcasing the latest WWE pay-per-views and other sports if you'd like to view them. 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK are at your fingertips and allow everyone to book front row seats, giving you the best view of the action. They are helping Team TWM. We're sorting out going to watch WrestleMania in London town. We're also going to be having the Welsh Lockdown at the Attack Show after party, which is run by We Love Sport. And you can check all that stuff on the We Love Sport app, Apple and Google Play Store, social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and WeLoveSport.co. Wrestle Crate! Use the code TWM Wrestling and you get up to 3 free items, which is really hard to say with an Essex accent, in your box. Sign up for 1 month, you get a free item. Stay for a second, get another one. Stay for a third one, you're damn right, another one. WrestleCrate.co.uk. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Use the code TWM Wrestling. Lovely stuff. Joining me this week, she's been away for the last 2 weeks because just life. So Carl's been an able deputy, but joining me is Kymmie. Hello.
Hello.
You've come back for an interesting adventure we are taking.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
This is going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about Super Showdown and Miz and Mrs. because we weren't going to be that horrible and take away everything. So no impact in NXT UK, which is a shame because actually NXT UK had that really cool I Quit match between Kaylee Ray and Toni Storm. I'd recommend watching it. It was very, very good. However, we need to talk about this. We need to dissect what went down last night. So let us travel to the beautiful country of Saudi Arabia for some Super Showdown. What went wrong? Discuss.
What went right?
This show had some matches on it. Some things were confusing, but it did end with genuinely, in my opinion, one of the funniest moments in wrestling history. So
let's not skip ahead. Let's start from the beginning.
I will say, actually no, there were 2 hilarious moments because I like watching people on the internet take wrestling seriously because why would you? It's wrestling. He's the best person to have it on because if there's one person that takes wrestling seriously, it's the person who used to be a wrestler. So yeah, let's talk about this. Like there were some bits and bobs, but we'll talk about it. Pre-show, you had OC over the Viking Raiders. It was okay. It was an OC and Viking Raiders match.
It wasn't a great match. I didn't see it advertised. Was this like a last-minute edition, or am I just
like literally Wednesday night? I was just walking home, being like, doo-ba-doo-boo-boo-boo. Actually, no, it wasn't Wednesday night. It was Thursday afternoon. I was sitting there on my phone pretending to do work, and was like, oh, but like I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna help out. Richie's running late. I'll do the first like hour and a half Super Showdown, and then you can take over while I go do other TWM-ly business. And I'm like, well, there's not many matches like announced. I don't think there's going to be a match on the kickoff show. They never have a match on the kickoff show. It's usually just three people talking, and then literally, as I say, don't worry, guys. There's not a kickoff show match. We're not going to worry about covering it in live tweeting. WWE immediately tweet out 4 matches added. One of them on the kickoff show, and I'm like. You literally waited to the second for me to tweet that. But I did actually, I realised at one point I was literally running home for Super Showdown, which made me feel very sad. But I did get back in time for this match. It was okay. It was bearable. They're both solid hands. Eric did a moonsault and he missed, and they hit the Magic Killer, so there we go. The opening match was the Tawake Trophy Gauntlet match, which is the Tawake Trophy is a mountain. It was a gauntlet match that was won by someone who wasn't even in the match. The Undertaker won.
How does that work?
I don't know. I was like, well, surely this doesn't work. Like, and they were hammering home that literally it was like the opponent. So, like, I imagine they are assuming that Ray was battered and then Undertaker walked to the ring, and then someone of power at the back was like, yeah, sure, Undertaker can replace Rey Mysterio. The way I wrote this down was, this was like the opening part of this match was like the Kofi Kingston Gauntlet, but in an alternate universe where everything was going the wrong way. R-Truth, I love R-Truth. If you've not watched the 24/7 documentary that was on after Super Showdown, go and watch it. It's really good, and they do not hide the fact that he came from a very troubled past. I do believe in the first 2 minutes he turns around and goes, yeah, this was the road where I sold drugs. And I was like, oh, okay, they are going all in on all of this. But yeah, but the fact that, one, he beat Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley fell over.
Yeah, what was that?
He got pinned because he tripped over someone. And then also R-Truth beat the United States champion, not anyone, not Shorty G, not Apollo Crews, not Jinder Mahal, which is funny because he's a former WWE champion, but the current United States champion via accident because they bumped heads and he fell on top of him and pinned him.
Oh,
I've got one word for you, Kimberly. Wellness. Yeah, that's why that happened. They literally embarrassed him on a global scale for getting done.
They were just like, you know what, bitch, we do not care. You are done for.
So I'm expecting R-Truth to beat Samoa Joe in 30 seconds when he returns from his 30-day wellness policy. Whatever it may be, because it could just be bad forms not filled in, which apparently is a reason why people could get wellness. And then AJ Styles beats R-Truth. He's waiting for Rey Mysterio. Ray gets battered by the OC. AJ wants forfeit, but the OC get battered. It's the Undertaker. Taker didn't take his coat or hat off.
I loved it.
Hits him with a chokeslam, not the tombstone, just a chokeslam. Still does the tombstone pin, wins, walks off, doesn't give a flying about the trophy.
Amazing. It was so funny.
He was also wearing his I think who did we discuss? We were talking about someone from MLW about this, that he but like, you know, like the Poundland knockoff wrestlers you'd get.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, this is Ron Mastrio, and this is PQ Funk. The Undertaker's gear looked like, he's worn it before, but it does look like either a guy cosplaying as the Undertaker, or like, oh, this is the Graveyard Man. It looks awful. Like, either just wear the American, like, wear, I don't know, like, it just looks odd. But yeah, this was just objectively hilarious. It does look like we're going to get AJ versus Taker at WrestleMania, and if Taker just lets AJ bounce around him and basically just wrestle around him, the match could be good.
So I don't know, I don't want to be this person. I love The Undertaker, but I'm kind of like, are you leaving or are you not leaving? Can you make your mind up? Are you retiring or are you not retiring? Like, you can't say, oh, this is a huge match because I'm retiring now and that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then, like, every year be like, I'm back.
It's the law of diminishing returns.
It's so annoying.
It used to be the Jericho rule, and for, on a personal level, for TWM and our friends, it's known as the Tom rule. He moves away, keeps coming back, and gets less exciting every time he returns. Love you, Tom, but we have made. I'm pretty sure you appeared as a surprise when we were at SummerSlam, and I turned around and went, "No, you've Jericho'd this now." Like, you keep doing surprise appearance in this to the point where it's not fun anymore. So now he just tells us when he's turning up. Also, I just realised I forgot to say, apologies. We did make a conscious effort this week's from now on that we're not going to swear in podcast, just to make sure that it's a bit more accessible to everyone. So I'm pretty sure I did say one swear. If I did, sorry about that. Won't happen again. You also forgot to tell Kim that was a thing, but now she knows. Miz and Morrison over the champions, the New Day. So we have new tag team champions.
What?
The Miz and John Morrison are the SmackDown tag team champions. I imagine me and you are both happy because we both love Miz and Morrison. It was one of the few things we bonded over when we weren't arguing over wrestling as young folk. However, I felt this match just didn't click at all.
Oh, I liked it.
I don't. Maybe I just got distracted and I started looking at my phone, but I just could not get into it whatsoever and was just like, looked down and went, "Oh wait, this match has been going on for 5 minutes." The
only problem I had with this match was it was. I mean, I like all four of these wrestlers, but the problem was I found it very predictable. Like, I could kind of be like, all right, they're going to do this next. I'll watch them do this next. I'll watch them do it. And I don't like matches like that. I don't like it when I can call what move you're going to do next or when you're going to tag your partner. And I want to be, like, hyped up on the edge of my seat type thing.
But this is for very WWE-trained wrestlers.
Yeah.
As in, you have your bits, they fit into a certain order, you have your 5 moves, and there was no one really there that breaks them out of the norm. Like with Miz, when he faced Daniel Bryan, you had someone who would break him out of his normal comfort zone, like take him out of his comfort zone. With the New Day, you could say the Usos, that kind of break them out of their comfort zone and stuff like that. Whereas Miz, Morrison, Kof and Big E are all we wrestle the WWE style. This is the WWE style we wrestle. It's not a bad thing because it was a perfectly fine match, but I do agree. And also, because Miz and John Morrison's moves are very floaty, like they're just very signposted. It's like, I'm going to do this now because I need to prepare myself in this certain position and stand here and wait for the wind to hit a southwesterly direction. So yeah, I see your point. Like, I'm surprised they gave the belts to Miz and Morrison, to be honest. I thought they would keep them for the New Day and wait for Mania. But yeah, Kofi's not allowed another title at WrestleMania anymore. You had one. That is all you're getting, sir. But however, Jomo did hit Kofi with the chair, so there is potential for them to have a rematch. I'm still waiting. Possibly we get our multi-man match. There was a chair involved. Possibly. Let it be TLC. Please let it be TLC.
Yes.
Because I want Miz, Morrison, the Usos, the New Day. I did say the Revival, but the Revival are dead. So, probably be Ziggler and Rude. And then have a TLC match. It'll be great. We then had Angel Garza over Humberto Carrillo. This was pretty good, but the crowd did not care. They just had no interest in this. Clearly, we watch whatever version of WWE they get, whether it's an edited version or not. They clearly don't get Garza and Carrillo because they did not give a monkeys about these two.
Also, though, what the frick was with that firework display?
Oh yeah, I love that. It's like I wrote down. I was twigged. I forgot to mention this, by the way. I will mention this on this. On the pod regarding the Undertaker, we mentioned just give up. I was watching it with my brother because it was on early, so we were just both pottering about watching the show. And he looks up when he hears the Undertaker's gong, and his response was, "I'm going to do the clean version, obviously keep it PG." He just went, "What the hell? Good Lord, just let that man retire."
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. I tweeted. I was like, "Oh my God, they're giving Humberto Carrillo massive Goldberg pyro." What?
Yeah, well, I didn't understand that. I was kind of like, all right, yeah, we get it. You've got money to spend. It's Saudi Arabia. You want to show off, but your
collective areas.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you can calm your tits is fine. Tits is fine. It's just we're not dropping F's or S's anymore. Okay.
I would like you to know I've actually said the F word quite a lot though during this.
That's why I said apologies because I completely forgot to tell you at the start. So this one's a little bit rudy, but I will double check.
I'll stop.
However, this match, lots of pyro. The crowd didn't care. It got a bit sloppy at the end. There was lots of roll-ups and Garza wins. It was a thing.
It was a match.
We then had Seth Rollins and Murphy over the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles. My original thing here was just Montez Ford can jump ever so high.
Yeah, what is that? Has he got springs in his shoes?
I think he's half catapult, half man.
Right, okay.
Yeah, his father was a trebuchet. That's what it was. Just yeah, like it was. We all knew who was winning, so it was just fun to watch Montez Ford jump around. Rollins hits the same curb stomp he's hit on every tag team for the last month, which is one on ropes, and Murphy pins for the win. Then we get Mansoor over Dolph Ziggler. This was pretty good. There was a bit of a mess up towards the end, but this was Mansoor's occasional rollout once a year where he suddenly becomes Goldberg and he's unbeatable. However, Mansoor did hit... Like, Mansoor's a very good wrestler. I will give him that. He's very good.
He is, yeah.
Opinions on stuff you've said on the internet aside, whether it's out of context or not, we're not going to get into that. He has a very nice floating neck breaker. He hit a reverse sliced bread, which was beautiful. He went for a moonsault, but Ziggler overestimated how far. He must have been watching Montez Ford and been like, yeah, you can make halfway through the ring. And Ziggler took knees directly into the ribs for the win, which looked like it sucked.
I could literally just watch Dolph Ziggler sell moves all day, every day.
He is tremendous, but he's got to the point now where it's just like, yeah, that's all you're good for is selling, because no one believes... No one has any... He doesn't have any believability as anything other than a person that sells to the face now, for me. Like, I have no interest in watching him lead a match. I just want him to take moves. Maybe sneak a cheap win now and again. But other than that, that's it. Then we get the championship match, Brock Lesnar over Ricochet. The moral of the story is the same thing we learned from Kofi Kingston on SmackDown. Don't run at Brock Lesnar. He will hurt you. I audibly... bust out laughing when this match finished. Run, clubbing blow, suplex, F5 for the win, and just went, ha 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 ha. Oh, of course they did this. Of course they did this. You have one of the best high flyers in the world, a guy that literally set the world on fire a few years ago and has been like having his amazing matches, but nah, just gonna have him run over in 2 minutes because Brock Lesnar, and because I imagine the powers that be, the financial benefactor of this show, was like, no, Brock Lesnar must win in 2 minutes. This is what he is here for. And Ricochet got his legs out for it. Disgusting. Like, he put all that effort in. He got his legs out and he got F5 in 2 minutes.
That's why he went F5 in 2 minutes. How dare you?
How dare you get out your legs?
It's just Saudi Arabia.
He was the only one they got upset at. I'm trying to did anyone else not have long tights on? No, Angel Garza ripped his trousers off, didn't he? So yeah. We had a steel cage match, Roman Reigns over King Corbin. I thought this was really good, and I was very surprised at how good it was. Yeah, I was. I mean, I'm bored of this feud now, and I please beg to God this is the end of this feud, because WWE have seriously overworked it. It's worse than freaking Charlotte and Becky Lynch. It's all wrote down. This was good, surprisingly so. Never wrestle again.
Yeah, I don't want to see this again. But this match was a really good way to end the feud. And I'm just hoping that WWE do end the feud here and they don't drag it out any longer. Yeah,
we don't want a match at WrestleMania. This is where it's done. So we had chains, punches, Superman punches, chain punches, 3 Superman punches, and then a chain man punch for the win because he couldn't win with a spear because of something else that happened later on in the show. We then had Bayley over Naomi. Mm-hmm. This was decent. They did what they needed to do. They got loads of chants, which was great. The crowd was really through this whole show. Like at the beginning, the crowd was really hot, and I noticed there was a group of about 20 guys, kids that were between the ages of about 16 to 25, and they were going for proper screaming, chanting NXT, chanting Nia, proper UK after WrestleMania crowd, proper going for it. And then literally after the show, they must have been moved. You're having too much fun, please leave. And the crowd just died.
Well done.
It was strange. But yeah, I like the finish though, because they'd where Bayley worked over her legs and then tight, because they both were wearing the long shirts, because obviously they were over there, tied her legs up in the shirt, which was just highly amusing, and then hit that headlock driver, which didn't look very good, for the win. The main event, Yeah, actually, Kim, you can literally read the notes out that I wrote down for Goldberg and The Fiend.
The notes that Matthew wrote down for Goldberg defeating the champion The Fiend is
because legitimately, you can check it out on Twitter at TWRussell. I had tears coming down my face laughing at this match because, of course, they did. Of course, they had Goldberg run through The Fiend in 2.5 minutes.
Absolute joke.
And people getting so angry at it. I'm like, just follow the mantra that I follow, and I like everyone at TWM to follow if they can, which is love wrestling when it's good, laugh at it when it's bad. And this was bad, so therefore, objectively, it is utterly hilarious that they've gone.
Laugh.
Here's the most over character I've had in 6 months. We don't know what to do with him. Feed him to Goldberg like a month before WrestleMania. Everyone's saying we're going to get Fiend and Cena going into Mania. I would not be shocked if the Fiend's even on Mania. If Bray Wyatt has any respect left, I don't know why he doesn't go, yeah, you know what, I'm sitting out my contract, I'm going to sit at home. He's going to put notes out, put a note message out on Twitter, say that you've asked for your release and sit home until your contract runs out, because they're not going to, they clearly just go, I see you have this idea, we're going to run with it until we get bored and realise that we want the part-timers for Part-Timer Mania. You're never getting a WrestleMania main event. Never, ever, ever, ever. Stay in your lane, Bray Wyatt. Yeah, it was just funny. It's so funny. So funny watching everyone take it so seriously and be like, I can't believe they've ruined it. It's like, you're not shocked that Vince McMahon or whoever's in charge has just gone, yeah, we want Goldberg at Mania rather than the Fiend, because Goldberg we can sell to everyone and the Fiend's scary to some people, so we don't want him on the there. It's just, yeah. It was just funny. Not even me being like, if I don't laugh, I cry. It was just objectively hilarious that they actually did this. Like the big brass knackers on WWE Creative to be like, there's going to be no blowback from Goldberg running through the Fiend in 2 minutes, and then the Fiend's response is to look up at him and disappear.
Oh my god, I still can't believe they've done it. But you do get to a stage where you don't get angry anymore and roll your eyes, you just laugh. It's
just because we spoke about this. I want to say maybe on Smack Talk last week. It might have been that talking about Goldberg and the Fiend, and I said the way you book this for me, and this is me sitting down in my armchair and getting armchair booker is in kayfabe. Goldberg is a cyborg. He's an unstoppable killing machine. That's what he is. It doesn't matter. That's why I did not care when Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in 2 minutes. I'm like, Brock Lesnar's an athlete. Goldberg is literally Goldberg is meant to be a monster on the caliber of The Undertaker, Kane, that sort of thing, that he just runs through people.
Yep.
So what you do with this is, I said, you just Alien versus Predator it.
Oh, yeah.
Like they should have done that last week without Goldberg spearing the Fiend and the Fiend disappearing. They should have had them two run through about 50 people in that ring on SmackDown, just throwing people around, yeeting everyone. You get every indie jobber in the within 3 states of wherever they had SmackDown last week. I think it might have been Canada. So every jobber in Canada, get them there in security gear, police gear, the lot, and have them then just yeet everyone out of the ring, and they just keep getting close to each other, and then they get pulled away. This match should have been these two just bang, bang. Even if it was just boom, bang, bang, hit, and then I would have had Goldberg go for the jackhammer, and then lights go out, Fiend disappears.
Yes.
And you do the Joker, which is like, you can't defeat me if I run away. It's just what, yeah. And it's not really running away; it's the Fiend protecting himself. And if you're not going to put over Gold, you do something. You don't just have. You have the Fiend batter in post match or something.
You don't just have I've been defeated, let me lay here and sell it.
No, it's but the thing is that he got up, looked at him and went, I have to go now, my planet needs me, and disappeared, and then Goldberg's like, oh, you've gone, that's weird, I'm champion. It's just, it's all just a big shame, but at the same time, utterly hilarious, the leather people that got annoyed by it. If you got annoyed by it, I'm going to say this before, and it's really funny. People get legitimately wound up when a wrestling podcast says this. Stop taking wrestling seriously. It's fucking wrestling. It's still real to me, damn it. I generally had someone say that to me, and I was like, just get in the bin. And follow up the bin by getting in the sea. It's
Get in the sea.
It's wrestling. Don't take it seriously. Laugh at it when it's rubbish, and then you won't be miserable on the internet being like, I'm gonna go. The best thing I read, and it summed up a lot of people's opinions on wrestling, made me laugh. Someone was like, I'm so angry. I'm done with WWE until after WrestleMania.
That's pretty fun.
And I'm like, of course you are, you dingus.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
TWM podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
Right, let's clean the palate with a little bit of Miz and Mrs. And this show was as ridiculous. Like, this was just a borderline sitcom, this episode.
It was awful. I actually was reading online, this is the worst rated TV show, like the worst rated episode they've ever done.
But then at the same time, like, this is the best show WWE put on right now that's not NXT.
I agree.
It's gold. It's just gold. People are Philistines. They just don't appreciate. Like, I imagine that it's like when people say like, "Oh, this is awful." Then like 50 years from now, I'll be like, "Oh, it's kitsch. It's retro." 50 years from now, people will be watching this. Whoever's left after coronavirus, the 3 people that are left, it's fine. It only really affects old people. It's fine. And they'll watch this and be like, this is top art. We open with Monroe being an angel because of a photo shoot. Because they're doing a family photo, and Maurice wants it to be very naturey, and Miz legitimately looks dead behind the eyes. We then get a hilarious bit where Miz asks for manila folder, and Maurice does not know what a manila folder is. And Miz just loses Dan mind. She goes, "It's a manila folder." "No, it's a yellow envelope." And Miz just walks off. Maurice doesn't give a toss because it's an envelope.
I don't blame her.
It's an envelope,
Mike. It's a freaking
Mike.
envelope. It's not a manila folder.
Calm down. Yeah, Mike meets another Mike. He's off getting his car serviced, and he drops popcorn on the floor. What garage has a popcorn machine?
I don't know.
Like, that's a weird. Like, I don't drive. You do. Like, so you get your giant ridiculous car serviced. Like, full disclosure, and I'm not putting Kim on blast, but this is true. Kim is a tiny lady. She's a very small. She's very small in stature. Loud in personality and charisma, but very small in stature. Her car is legitimately 3 times the size of her. It's like,
because it's a Jeep.
I know, but it's like your car before was very Kimberly. It was tiny. It was bright yellow.
It was tiny.
I've had to make a really, really hilarious dig there. I was going to be like, it's tiny. It's bright yellow. It occasionally breaks down. It's perfect Kim's car. And then I realised, no, that's really mean.
No, it's not. It did break down on the A127 in the middle of rush hour, so we can allow it.
Yeah. It makes lots of loud noises. It was Kim's car, and now she's got this giant car with like she's basically bought the Batmobile. And
it pretty much is 'cause it's all black. So it's quite...
And it does have rocket launchers on the sides. But you live in Essex, so it's fair enough. He dropped the popcorn on the floor from the popcorn machine, and he literally sweeps it under the rug. The way this was shot, was I the only one who thought he was going to pick it up and just put it back into the machine?
Yeah, no, I was waiting. I was like, he's not gonna pick that up off the floor and put it back. But no, I was exactly with you with that.
Now, you know cars, so you can help me with this. The mechanic goes, well, we've serviced it, but you've got to drive 100 miles so the inboard computer can believe that you've had it serviced. That doesn't sound real.
That is absolute bollocks.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I swore. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's B grade. It's the big words we like to say.
Basically, when you get a car serviced, during the service, they will, like, I don't know, there's like a button somewhere or something, and it resets the monitor. So your car will flash up, like mine's doing it now because I'm getting my car serviced on Monday, and it will flash up saying, need service, need service, need service. As soon as it goes in the garage check it up to a computer machine, and they tell that machine that the car's been serviced, so that completely goes. There is no way in hell you need to drive 100 miles for the car to believe it's been serviced.
That's... Yeah, I was looking at it, I went, that just doesn't sound real
it's
at all.
Bullshit.
In
almost as bullshit as when you need to register your kid when you're pregnant for a school in LA.
just so many lies, too many lies. So he needs to drive 100 miles and get back for the photo shoot. What could possibly go wrong? He also then paps himself because he sees the mum doll in the back.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, 96 miles. Maurice asks him to go get her the wings, and Miz is confused by all of it. Miz gets stuck in traffic and decides to put the mum's scary doll to go in the carpool lane. So what happens? Of course a cop pulls him over. Again, another thing which makes sense, obviously scripted. So he gets a writ, and the cop goes, can I have your autograph, please? He goes, yeah, sure, I'll give you an 8x10. He's like, no, for this citation. No one would say, can I have your autograph for this form, please? It would be, sign here or give me your signature.
Actually, it's completely different because it's not the police, but in Disney, when you're signing something, they ask for your autograph, they don't ask for your signature.
Disney is not the same as the cops, Kimberly. This is why every time you get pulled over and you're like, can I have a photo? And where's Space Mountain? They're just really confused when you ask them. Can't go back.
Thinking it's a small world.
Just looking at him going, you look so real. I'm not a mechanical toy, ma'am. Maurice and Monroe go to the photo shoot, and Miz goes and gets Maurice's mum Marjo to use the carpool lane. This will be great because he eats loads of miles because he's in the carpool lane now, but bad because Maurice's mum does not shut up. Just telling stories. Maurice and Monroe make it to the photo shoot, and Miz goes and gets the wings. Monroe hates all of the wings, and Maurice wants to know where Miz is. They go for the smog check, which is after they've finally driven the 100 miles. The 100 miles has been completed. Well done.
Woohoo!
And the mechanic flirts with Marjo, and Miz feels really awkward. However, it failed because he didn't tighten the fuel cap properly, and the computer didn't mark it all down. Wop wop. And then Maurice's photo shoot is very hot. Also, she's hot temperature-wise because it's just really, really warm. And she's also very, very angry. She's PO'd at Miz for not being there. And guess what happens? Wop wop, part 2.
Wop, wop.
Mrs. Carr runs out of petrol.
Oh no, who could have seen this coming?
Maurice is going to kill Miz, so he decides to run up a giant hill. And I wonder if he drops the wings. He doesn't. I thought he was going to drop them and break them, but he didn't. Miz looks ridiculous, and he's immediately gassed out. And then we get the best visual of the show so far, which is Marjo going past on an Uber, because she said get an Uber. He's like, no, there's no time. Marjo going past him, not stopping, and just flipping him off.
Oh, I love her.
Which is just the best mood, the biggest mood of 2020. Marjo arrives and just buries Miz, calling him an idiot, which was great. Miz arrives and looks a complete mess. We get our photo shoot. Hurrah! Kalukale. And it turns out lovely, apart from the fact that Monroe doesn't smile. But they all don't smile.
No, it's very hard to get kids to smile on phones.
Because apparently she hates iPhones. Just get an Android. Get a better phone. So get the superior brand.
No.
Yes.
Don't start that conversation.
Yeah, that was a Miz and Mrs. It was a really, really fun, as it always is. I'm annoyed that it keeps getting lower and lower ratings because this is generally entertaining, and I feel like this may lead us up to. I think Bella's is the. I think the timeline now is we watch this, then we go into Total Bella's, then I think Total Divas starts again. Like, I feel like this is the reality TV.
And then go back.
Then we'll be back to Miz and Mrs. or something like that. We're never going to run out of trashy WWE reality TV shows.
No.
You love to see it. Anyway, that's it for Best of the Rest this week. A bit of a truncated version, but we did go a bit in depth of Super Showdown.
Yep.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at TWM Wrestle. Subscribe to us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Acast, Podbean, YouTube, all that good stuff. Please and thank you.
Check out.
Please, if you're on YouTube, search for us TWM Podcast. Please subscribe, notifications on, all that good stuff. On twm.news, click the shop and go get some merch. We've got loads of fun merch. We Love Sport. Download that app. Use that. We Love Sport UK. WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.co.uk. TWM Wrestling to get up to 3 free items in your first 3 months. WrestleCrate.co.uk, and that's pretty much it. Kimberly, social medias.
At Kymmie A. Kiss.
I'm a Matty ID. This has been Best of the Rest. We are TWM Wrestle. We love you all. We'll be back next week with all the usual stuff. So NXT UK, Impact, and of course Miz and Mrs. That has been Best of the Rest. Fare thee well.